Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Meredith E. Phillips, and we're gonna do a fun outing this morning. Are you so excited? I'm going to meet up with some writer friends for a little while. I don't know if we're gonna do any writing. I brought a notebook because I was not about to try to boot up my laptop. But anyway, welcome back. If you've missed the last two videos, I'll link them below, but basically what I'm in the middle of right now is an outline challenge. I have a new project I'm working on, and I have challenged myself to complete a full outline by the end of August. If you want to know a little more about my outline process and the different steps and stages I go through, I detailed that out a little bit in the last vlog, so again, that'll be linked below. And I also have a full video from a couple years back about my outline process if you want to check that out. So my goal this weekend is to finish the beat sheet outline, and I'm almost done. I've got a section of Act 2 to figure out and complete. I have a lot of it sort of figured out, but we left off last time with me sort of realizing that it needed a little more cohesion. Act 2 includes a big road trip element, which is super fun, and there's a lot of fun things that are taking place, but what I'm very worried about is I do not want this section of the book to become too episodic, where the events are just sort of happening and you could rearrange them in any order and it really wouldn't matter at all. You know, like, you don't want that to happen. So I really want to be careful with how I'm planning this out, but I'm not like too stuck on it. I feel like I'll be able to, you know, finish it like I originally planned by the end of this weekend, August 3rd. For the moment, I haven't seen this writing group in a couple months, I want to say. It's been a little bit. So we're just going for breakfast this morning, and it should be a good time. So enjoy as I drive through Tejas to get to this little restaurant situation. Well, hello, I'm back home. It's a little later. It's almost 1 o'clock. I got back and I was getting this headache like here and down into my eye, and I was like, oh my gosh. I also slept horrifically last night. I don't know what was going on, but I couldn't fall asleep, and then I woke up around 4. So I think I got like maybe 4.5 hours of sleep. So anyway, I took a small nap. I set an alarm for like 45 minutes. That's it. So anyway, I'm back. I'm seated. Like literally not in that like youthful way people use it nowadays. But anyway, so we had a little short writing session at the end of our breakfast together. And I had some ideas. For this road trip element to up the stakes. First of all, up the stakes with this little game they're playing. In case you missed it, I forget when I talked about this. It was in one vlog, like maybe back in May, but I wanted to have some kind of like thing that was happening on this road trip to sort of tie everything together a little bit more, instead of, like I said, being like just random stuff happening. So I came up with the idea of, you know, what do people on trips today like to do? We play games in the car if we're going on a road trip. And so I thought, well, maybe people back in the day would have done the same thing. So I created like an I Spy kind of road trip game for them to play with like points and stuff, and whoever has the most points at the end of each day wins that day. And then there's going to be like one winner who wins like overall and all this kind of stuff. So anyway, I have points. I have things that earn you points. I have rewards. I have all kinds of stuff figured out for this fake game that my fake characters are playing. And I thought of some different ideas for how to structure the game so that, again, like the stakes are a little higher on it. So I think that'll be fun. And I also ended up getting into, hold on a second, let me look at these notes, these really messy notes I wrote. I was kind of trying to dig into, you know, where's the attraction? Like, what is happening that they are interested in each other. So I was trying to dig into like what's missing from their lives and what are they really looking for? What do they really need? And I think I figured that out pretty well. So anyway, let me transfer my horrifically messy notes from this notepad into my Scrivener document and then get back into this outline and see how far we can get on this outline, you know, filling in Act 2. So let's go. Okay, it is sometime later. It's 4 o'clock. I've been working on this off and on. I'm really having a hard time concentrating today. I don't know why, but anyway, this road trip element is killing me. I had information or like notes about all kinds of different aspects of this road trip, and it was just sort of like in this bulky section of my brain dump document, and I was just like, I was scrolling there, I was scrolling in the outline, I was scrolling, it was too much scrolling. I was like, I can't. So I ended up making a table in Scrivener to organize it by day, to be like, day 1 is this date, and here's where they start during the day, here's where they end up during the day, like in terms of the city or the location, and here's like just detailing out like everything that happens in columns and rows, so I can look at it all in one go instead of scrolling through like random bullet points that are all mismatched. Anyway, I'm working my way through this table. I'm not done yet, but that's where I am for the moment. So I need to do some other stuff today. I've got a lot I need to finish this weekend, and I have 1 day left. So let me cut this off for today. I'll see you tomorrow, and we'll hopefully make some significant progress in finishing out this beat sheet outline. Oh, hey, good morning. I'm tired. I was supposed to, the plan was, okay, listen, because yesterday I slept for like 0 hours or something, and I was really tired yesterday. And then last night I was like, okay, we're going to get in bed, we're going to go to sleep and like sleep solid, you know? And what I like to do before actually turning out the light is read for a little bit. So I had picked up Kate Bateman's newest release, Road Trip with a Rogue. Is that what it is? I'll put it here. It's amazing. Is this the best book I've read all year? I've been in such a reading slump. I started this. This is perfect. This is perfect. It's so well done. It's like the perfect, just wild, madcap, shenanigan laced historical romance. It's amazing. I'm enjoying it so much. There was an element that happened at 50% where I was like, she's not gonna do what I think she's gonna do, is she? And she just did it. It was so good. It was, oh my gosh, I'm not done with it yet. But anyway, I stayed up until 11 o'clock reading this dang book. I was about to put it down. Because I'd gotten to the 50% mark. They'd had like this like fallout to the plans that happened, and it was like, oh no, and whatever. And I was like, all right, I probably should stop reading at this point, because it was like there was like a little bit of a break, you know. And I was like, oh, let me just read it like a few more pages, and then this other thing started happening, and I was like, oh my gosh! So then I couldn't stop reading. Anyway, so now I'm just tired again. Thanks a lot, Kate Bateman. Anyway, if you're looking for a good historical, it's the 3rd in a series, but you do not have to read the first 2. The first 2 were great. I think I gave the first one like 4 stars. Like, it was good, but it wasn't like an all-time favorite or something. The second book was 5 stars. Loved it. And this one is like, I mean, we're at like 5.5, 6 stars. It's so fun. I'm loving it. We have to write my own book, my own madcap, crazy historical romance with lots of shenanigans. I really want to tell you what happened, but it's not a spoiler, but I feel like it would spoil. I feel like I would spoil it. You know what I mean? Because I was so surprised. I was not expecting this at all. Okay, I gotta focus on this. Stop talking about books, Meredith, and talk about your own book. All right, I've got to figure out my own road trip, okay? I've got to figure out my own road trip for this book. Oh, this chart is helping, but so let me finish filling in this chart that has perhaps made things more difficult than they need to be. One thing I will say about Scrivener, you can do like the table situation. there's pieces of this chart I don't like, and you can't change it. Like you can't, or if you can, I don't know how. I'm almost about to open an Excel sheet, but I don't want a separate document that isn't in this document, so I'm going to just deal with the fact that I don't like how this is laid out, but it's fine. My goal originally was to finish this plot, or this beat sheet outline phase today. I don't know if that's going to happen. I have a couple hours to work right now in the morning. I have to go to the grocery store like early afternoon, and then I'll have some hours to work later in the day. So there's going to be a little bit of a break when I go to the store. I've got one more other thing I have to do. I'm in the middle of a beta read also, which is going really well. I'm enjoying the book a lot, but I have to make time for that too. I've got to do so many things, and I just want to read the rest of that book. I'm going to stay up late again tonight finishing it or something. Okay, let me get started. Stop procrastinating. It's already like 9:30. Let me work on this. And at least get it like 75% finished in the next couple of hours. I don't know if it's gonna. Let's just finish. Let's just start working. Just start working, Meredith. It's Jade! You've come to interrupt me? Hi! Hi! Do you need to go potty? Look at my good girl. You're too tired to sit in here. You're gonna fall asleep on the floor. Let's go potty first. Let's go potty. Okay, not to brag or anything, but I think I'm done. Wow. Okay, putting in place the structure I'm going for with this whole road trip sequence in this chart, and then just filling in the chart, like that really worked for my brain. Again, I feel like this has happened twice now with this whole process for this book so far, is I was struggling with like figuring out some part of the book, and I just put my notes in a different format, and it just like worked. So I guess if you're struggling with something, just put it in a chart instead of a bullet point list, or put it in a bullet point list instead of a chart, or put it on note cards. Just try a different format. Man, that's so weird. Anyway, I think I'm kind of done, honestly. I'm done with the beat sheet outline at least. The next part of my little outlining stuff, and I'm very confused by what I was thinking here. Okay, so the next thing I wanted to do was compile like a bullet point list of the scenes, which is kind of what I have here, but some of this is very much like, some of this is not individual scenes. It's something that just needs to be explained in a bit of exposition, or there's some stuff that I have in here where it's clearly going to be like 2 scenes or 3 scenes, and I've just sort of compressed it into one of these beat points or whatever, beat plot points. And so in order to do the scene by scene outline, I need a list of the scenes. So I've given myself a week to do this bullet point list. I don't know why I thought I needed a whole week. I've given myself until the 8th, which is Friday, I think. Yeah. So it's only the 3rd. I'm pretty sure I can complete this like in not that much time. I don't know what I was doing. I don't know why I put that much time for a scene list, but I guess I'll start that today, because I don't, that's all I need to, that's just the next step. Look at me go. Very excited. I guess let's get going on that. I'm trying to think like how, I think I'm gonna pull up like a fresh page, blank, and just have my notes open on the side and go from there. I don't need to do some big explanation for each bullet point, because I've got the explanation already detailed out. I guess let's get going on this. Also, I fully acknowledge that a lot of this probably seems super repetitive. Like, why am I making a bullet point list of something that's already basically a list? I don't know, okay? It just helps my brain. Part of my process, I think, for any book is like especially in this early outlining, first drafting, even into like the second drafting kind of stage, I tell myself the same story over and over and over and over and over and over again in various formats. The brain dump is one version of it. The beat sheet outline is another version of it. The bullet point scene list is another version of it. I go back and I rewrite things, and I rewrite the same things but in a different way. I just tell the story like over and over again, and I think that just helps me process it, and I think it helps me see potentially where like maybe elements aren't working or things aren't connecting the right way, and then I can fix it. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what this seems like to you, but it makes sense in my brain. So that's what I'm doing. You know things are getting serious when I've got 3 windows open. I actually love this part of the process. Why do I need all this? It's fine. Just let me be doing my thing. The other thing I have to do, oh my gosh, the calendar. I gotta make sure all this, you know, works in a logical calendar sense. Because I was just looking at this and I was like, wait a minute, these 2 events can't be back-to-back days, and that's gonna throw off a bunch of other stuff. So anyway, I gotta make sure I come back and do this. I had originally filled this in with like really basic, I think this is maybe how it's gonna work, but that was weeks ago. Calendar, I need to add that to my pre-outlining stuff. All right, I've gotten into bullet points for Act 2. It's almost noon though, so I'm gonna take a little lunch break. This is really good. This is really good because there's things happening in the beat sheet outline that I'm realizing like this doesn't need to be a scene. I can just be like, you know, explain it in exposition real quick and not have a whole scene dedicated to one of the characters traveling by themselves. Nobody cares about that. So anyway, this is going well. I'm gonna take a little break and we'll be back later to keep working on this. I've never in my life spent that much in one grocery run. The prices, oh my gosh, the prices for like everything are just insane. I did have to buy, like, I had to buy some dog food, and I had to buy like some new shampoo and stuff. So I did have a few things in there that were like, you know, not weekly purchases, and they're usually like, you know, it adds like $15, $20, $30 to your bill, but oh my gosh. Wow. All right. I spent my life savings at Kroger. Let's go home. Okay, the hair is up because it's freaking hot outside. I'm gonna try to get through a little bit more of this little bullet point scene list. It's 3 o'clock. I'm tired. But yeah, let me see if I can get maybe through Act 2. Act 2 has a lot going on in it. So let's see if we can get through that. Let's do it. Pretend there was some B-roll in there. I've made it to the midpoint. Thank goodness. Some of these scenes are a little like still tentative. I'm not entirely sure like where something's gonna end and where something's gonna begin. I'll figure that out when I do the scene by scene outline. But there's different pieces of this where I'm like, ooh, I know exactly how this is gonna end and how it's gonna lead into the next scene. And I'm so excited to write this. Oh my gosh. The other thing I'll have to decide, some scenes it's obvious like, oh, this will be from Henry's POV, or this one's going to be from Celia's POV. Some of them I'm not sure, so that'll be fun to figure out too. I'm going to cut this off for today, and I'll vlog another day or 2 for this one. Are we enjoying the 2 videos a week? Ugh, hopefully, because that's what I'm going to be doing for most of the rest of the month. Anyway, I will see you tomorrow. It's me. I'm back. We're gonna do dishes with Meredith again. Everyone's favorite segment. So this morning, I finished that scene by scene list. So instead of needing a week for it, I needed a day, which is great. Let me fix this. You know what? Auto never works. That's good enough. If it's fine. So yeah, I'm kind of done. I need to, what I really want to do right now is do the calendar stuff. I want to get all of the dates lined up and make sure everything makes logistical sense. Because that's the worst if you write like a whole draft or even 2 drafts and then you find out way later, whoa, it's physically impossible for these 2 events to be happening on back-to-back days, you know, like that kind of thing. So I really want to get to the calendar, but I really need to do a little bit of reading for this beta reader project I'm working on. I haven't touched that at all today, and I really need to get through the next like 5 chapters. I'm going to be responsible and do that first. But, I mean, 5 chapters isn't a little amount to get through. I really want to get through that and stay on track with that. I don't have, like, I could skip it today and it's not the end of the world. Like, I have several weeks left for this project. But I'm just like, I just want to be on top of it. Anyway, I might get to calendar stuff later this evening if I can get through the beta reader stuff. So we'll see. But I'm very much on track with where I want to be in terms of the outlining stuff. And I think I'll very easily be able to finish the calendar, unless I find some major issue in the calendar stuff, which would make me have to go back and like redo when events are happening or how events are happening. Unless I find some major error like that shouldn't take all that long. And then I should be able to get into the scene by scene outline, the actual final product that we're looking for here. The other great thing about this story is it can really, like, there's not historic dates where it's like this event in the story has to happen at this point or by this date in order for other stuff to like be historically accurate or something. In the last book, in Rogue's Guide, I was using the Royal Academy's exhibition as like a major plot thing, and so I was trying to line up like when that would have been held in 1811 with my story, and that kind of got tricky certain times. I was, and so this doesn't have any of that. There really isn't. There are historical aspects to the story, of course, but nothing that's tied to like a specific date or even a date range. So it's a lot more free in terms of when I can have stuff happen. My original idea for the story was to have it set more in the fall, and I guess there is that. I do have like a fall festival, harvest festival kind of thing going on at one point. So things need to line up for that. But that's, like that can kind of be during a general harvesty time, which, late September, early October in there. But it's not, again, it's not like a super specific date for that or anything. Let me go do the beta reader stuff. If I have time to get to calendar stuff later today, you can come along for that. Otherwise, I'll see you tomorrow. It is 7:15. We've had dinner. I did my reading. And now it's calendar time. I love the calendar. All hail the calendar. All right, I'm getting tired though, so I don't know how long I'm going to do the calendar for, but at least get it started. I think one of the tricky things with this, because like I was saying, there is no, this thing has to happen on this date because of history reasons. There's no like starting point. Like with the last project, because it revolved around the exhibition and I knew the dates for the exhibition, I could say, okay, this plot piece has to go, whenever it was, April 30th. And then everything else, I worked backwards from there or worked forwards from there. But there is nothing like that in here. I think maybe I'll start at that Harvest Festival, because that's the only thing where it's sort of like, I can't have the Harvest Festival in August, and I can't have it in November. That's too late. let's start with this and see what we can do. All right, I am done. It's almost 8 o'clock. I'm not done with the calendar, but I'm just done, you know, in general for the day. I started at that Harvest Festival, which is sort of the midpoint. It's a little bit after the midpoint, and I worked all the way through the end. So I've got basically acts 3 and 4 plotted out on the calendar, which is great. And tomorrow, I guess, what we'll do is work backwards from that festival to, you know, get back to the beginning of the book. It really didn't take all that long, so that was good. There's definitely room for moving things. I don't know, there's a few pieces where it's like they have to send a letter to someone and then wait to hear back. And so it's like, okay, well, that might take like a week or 10 days, you know? So, but there's a little bit of flexibility in there, you know? So anyway, things can be moved if need be, but most of that should be all good to go. I'm going to try to finish up the calendar stuff tomorrow, and then we'll be ready for this actual scene-by-scene outline. Can you believe it? I'm ahead of schedule, which I love for me. So, for today, I'm going to be done. I haven't played Animal Crossing. What? I haven't played Stardew Valley in like 3 or 4 days now. I don't have the energy for it today. I'm sorry. I'll have to pick my strawberries another time. So, yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. I'm trying to film a video. What? Hello. We're in my living room because I'm kind of tired of sitting at that desk, TBH. So, this morning, I got up unwillingly because I didn't sleep good, but I did get up. And I finished the calendar. It's done. I put all the events on there. It looks good. I didn't see any plot issues where it was like these 2 events can't happen simultaneously, you know. So all of that worked out really well. The other thing that I'm really happy about with this plot, at the moment at least, there's some wiggle room. There's some wiggle room with the dates. There's places where it's like, I don't know, like a week later, the next thing happens. 10 days later, the next thing happens. So if I have to at some point push an event a day or 2 earlier, a day or 2 later, I can do that and it shouldn't mess up like everything that comes after it, you know? So I'm very glad for that because in the last book, Rogue's Guide, the plot is very concentrated. It's like Monday this happens, Tuesday this happens, Wednesday this happens, like boom, 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 boom. And I can't move one little piece and not affect everything else, you know? So with this, there's a little bit of wiggle room, which I like. So the calendar is done. The scene-by-scene bullet point list is done. The brainstorming is done. The beat sheet is done. And that means I'm ready to move on to the scene-by-scene breakdown, the final piece of this outline process. This shouldn't take me an exorbitant amount of time, but we shall see. I have until the end of the month to do this. Today's the 5th, is that right? I think so. Tuesday the 5th. I don't know. I've put it here somewhere for you. So I've got plenty of time. I'm not worried about finishing in time at all. I'm excited to get started on that in the next video because for today, I'm just going to be done. I finished that stuff earlier. I did my beta reading stuff and I'm just going to sit here and play Stardew Valley. I haven't played Stardew Valley in like a week. Maybe not quite that long, but it's been a minute. I don't even remember what I was in the middle of doing, frankly. So I will continue vlogging for you, which means you should be getting this one on Friday, so the next one will be Tuesday, and we'll be in that scene-by-scene breakdown. I'll go through all of what that template is and the different points and everything, so yeah, but that's next time. For now, I'm going to be done. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, you can click the subscribe button. I usually post videos on Fridays, but this month I was just like, I don't know, let's vlog like literally the whole month and do videos on Tuesdays and Fridays. Why not? Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you next time. Bye.